Good morning, guys. Today is June 5th, 2022, and I wanted to do a video about the patterns of the PEWS that we've been seeing here lately. A lot of us decoders have decoded them, in real time or within 24 hours of them happening, and we picked up on the patterns. But this video is going to be more designed to show how all of those patterns fit in to the same pattern that we've been taught, in the Gematria community. So the first one that we're going to go over, of course, is going to be the tops. And I'm just going to quick hit them so that we can show these patterns to the people to see if we can try to wake some people up to what is actually happening here. Our governments are involved in a secret society. Whether we want to admit it or not, it's the truth. So the first shooting that we're going to cover is the top shooting at the grocery store. And this is Kathy Holcomb's town. So supposedly the shooter went the day before and cased out the place, decided to go back the next day and kill people. Okay, that's the story that we got from the news. And then, oh, by the way, we got to take your guns. But back to this. So on Saturdays and Wednesdays, but Saturdays especially, you're going to see shootings in the news. And this is why. If you know Gematria and you learn how to read the symbols and the numbers, you will see these agendas in a different mind frame. I promise. So to teach you Gematria real quick, if you're new, there's 4 base ciphers. Let me get it pulled up here for you. So there's 4 base ciphers of Gematria we use to decode, or whatever you might say. And you're just taking the English alphabet, A equals 1, all the way up to Z equals 26. Then you're going to turn around and reverse them, which is going to be this one. So Z would be the first letter, A would be the 26th letter. So in these 2 green ciphers you see right here, this is the alphabetic going forward, A equals 1 to Z equals 26. This is backwards, Z being 1, A being 26. The reductions, you're doing the exact same thing forward and backwards, except when you get to like the letter K. The letter K is going to be the 11th letter of the alphabet going forward. 1 plus 1 is 2. So it's 2. You're taking it down to a single digit. You're going to do the same thing in the reverse. Z is 1. Your first one's going to be Q, that is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Q is 1. Okay? So that's your 4 base ciphers. So going forward. So we got this little Jesuit puppet here that planned this agenda with her town on this Saturday afternoon. Alright, so these are the patterns that you need to start looking out for. This happened at a Tops restaurant, and the mayor of that area, the governor of that area, one of those, you're going to look to your officials. Whatever official is in the paper in the headline with the shooting, that's the one you really want to go look for, because that's the one that probably had something to do with it in the pattern. So we've got the 57th governor of New York, which is Kathy Holcomb. When you take the A equals 1, Z equals 26, her name is 264. So she assumed office on August 24th last year. Do you see the pattern? So there's her name, and this is when the shooting occurred. Now, do you see this right here? You can include the end date. So it's either going to be, so if I'm measuring dates, it's going to be either 263 days, or if I count that last day, it's going to be 264. So that's the span. So you'll have 2 different numbers on the dates. So this is 263 days after her taking office, or a span of 264 days. So Kathleen Holcomb, 264, 264 days after she assumed office. If you don't count the span and you just do the 263, the shooting happened at Tops Friendly Markets. Do you see the pattern with your governors? There's so much more to this shooting here, but we're just looking at the patterns this morning, okay? The headlines. Right here's your headlines. And you always want to look at these little quotations because if you'll notice, every headline always says the same quotations. It was a military style execution. Well, that's kind of weird. So we've got a military style shooting or a military style execution at a supermart shooting 160 days after this bitch's birthday. Do you see this? This is the patterns that we're talking about. We are at war, people, but it is not against the people that you think it's against. So if you know anything about Skull and Bones, secret societies, you know that they are called the Brotherhood of Death or Order 322. So the news, after it was all said and done, called it the Buffalo Supermart Massacre. What do you think it equals? Straight 1 being A, 26 being Z. Alright, so let's go to the next one. So that's one of them, right? What's next on our list? Let's see which one we're going to pull up here. Oh, this one's fun. This is the school shooting. This one makes me the most mad, I think, because they don't even care about the kids, but they wanted you to think they care about the kids as to why they want to take the guns. Alright, so on Texas mass shooting, 19 adults and 2 kids were dead. That's what they kept saying, right? Alright, let's go down here and look at it. So, Governor Abbott is the one that got called up there, to talk. I said governor, sorry. Here's Greg Abbott. See this man? This is really going to piss you off when I show it to you. So he's the 48th governor of Texas. Sorry, I lost my train of thoughts there for a second. So he's the 48th governor of Texas. 192 days after his birthday. 19 children and 2 adults are killed. Look at assault weapons. And what did they start calling for after this shooting? An assault weapons ban, right? So we've got 19 dead, 19 kids, 2 adults, 192 days after Abbott's birthday, and we got a call for assault weapons ban. See that pattern? They don't even care to do it to the children. But they want you to believe, they want you to think that they care about the kids, and that's why they need to take these guns. On to the next one. All right. So we got the Chattanooga shooting. 6 people shot in downtown Chattanooga. This was on Saturday, May 28th. 6 injured. 6 shot on 100 Cherry Street. What's 100 Cherry Street? Equals 66. And you got 6 people shot. So you got your 666 there, guys. These are satanic people. Very satanic people. There's Tim Kelly. And guess how many days from his birthday it was? 55. Or a span of 56. If you guys don't know what the 56 is, that's a big Jesuit Society of Jesus number. Coronavirus was a big 56, but that's a whole nother video. We're just going to talk about these shootings here. So this one came from Chattanooga. Remember, we just talked about the 192 assault weapons with the 19 kids and the 2 adults. What do you think Chattanooga equals? Yep, you guessed it, 192. They're coming for the gun control, guys. This is all gun control. And if you look back to 1994 on September 13th, that was the first time that we got the gun control, the assault weapon ban by Clinton. It was on September 13th. September's the 9th month, the 13th day. So if you write that out, it would be 13/9. And what do you know? It happened in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we got a call for gun control. The day that they done the gun control back in 94 when Clinton signed the bill, It was on the day that was leaving 109 days left in the year. September 13th, 13/9 for that. Wonder why they did it on September 13th. And you wonder why we get a lot of shootings on Saturdays? Well, this is why. This is why history repeats. All right, on to the next one. All right, so St. Francis Hospital. We got an active shooter. Woo, goodness. Everybody was freaking out over this one in the news, right? When did it happen? We got the active shooter on June 1st. See the date? 6/1. We got it in the Natalie building at the St. Francis Hospital. Remember, you just seen these same numbers in the last shooting. Got the active shooter there. Just in case you guys don't know, in numerology, you can drop the 0 if you need to. Zeros really don't count in numerology. So you got the Skull and Bones, you got the Tulsa, Oklahoma. So this is where they done the next one out. You see right there why they done it in Tulsa and who done it in Tulsa on June 1st. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look. So we got 187 days after the mayor's birthday. So we got Mayor GT Dumbass here. 187 days after the anniversary of him taking office. So he took office on December 5th. So we're going to measure that to June 1st. And what do you get? 187 days. Everybody knows that murder is 187. 187 on an MF and cop back in the day in that song. Do you remember that? 187 is the National Murder Code. So you got the Society of Jesus, which is the club that all these people belong to, that they're working for the agendas to disarm us and everything else, starve us and poison us and you name it. So this one came on June 1st, and like I told you, it was George T. Assholes, the governor's birth or day he took office. So if you look, his name equals 152. They did his shooting in his town on the 152nd day of the year to bring him into play. He had to make his sacrifice. See his name? He had to make a sacrifice on the 152nd day of the year to stay in this club. Do you see this? So we got the updated reports the next day or later on that day. I can't really remember this one. There's been so many. So it happened at a hospital called St. Francis. It was a shooting on a Wednesday. And it happened to be the 233rd mass shooting. And that's what the headlines ran, right? Gun control. He went to the hospital on May 19th over his back hurting. So that's what and then he came back on June 1st to kill everybody. So on May 19th, that's the 139th day of the year, the day the guy went in there to ask for help. Gun control's 139. So he didn't get any help, so he came back on June 1st. So the story told us, right? The active shooter became an active shooter on 6/1 because of his back pain. So, and he happened to come back on a Wednesday for a shooting in a hospital at St. Francis. Guys, if you just don't, you guys have got to wake up. He also did this shooting on the anniversary of the Tulsa race riots. Here's some names of your shooters. Like, you guys have got to learn to do these patterns. See? It's a club and you ain't in it, honey. He used to be the Oklahoma team doctor. All right, let's go to the next pattern. Let's see which shooting's on the agenda this morning. Oh, Cornerstone Church in Ames. That's a good one to go to because we just talked about the 223. So this one's Ames Cornerstone Church, 322. This one happened on June 2nd. See that skull and bones right there, the Brotherhood of Death, the 322s. So this one was reported at like a youth meeting, I guess, that's put on by the salt company, each year. So if you look at the headlines, this salt company's all in the headlines, right? Because they were at the church because of this youth night that was presented by the salt company. Why do you think it was the salt company in the headlines? Same pattern as the last ones that I've showed you. Same pattern. It's all for the gun control agenda, guys. If you guys cannot realize this, I don't know what to tell you anymore, because literally, like, I've been showing you these day after day. Alright, so let's go on to this one. So we got the flea market coming about now. So this one here, this one's got to do with Gavin Newsom, his punk ass. Alright. So, California responded to a shooting. Of course, what day do you think the shooting was, and who do you think the governor was? Let's just start there. Do you think it was the 15th of May? Do you think it was in Gavin Newsom's town? Do you think it's an attack on Christianity because they hit the church? Do you see the pattern? So it's 129 days after him taking office on January 7th. And what do you think the name of the church was that got the shooting? Of course, Geneva Presbyterian Church, because it had to fit the pattern. Guys, there is a pattern to every single one of these rituals that they do in the news. And it's not just the it's not just the PEWS, okay? It's not just those, I promise. It's not just the PEWS. They're doing this with the baby formula. They're doing this with the headlines of the sacrifices, or I'm sorry, the deaths of the elites. You think Naomi Judd wasn't a sacrifice? She was. Do you think that every person that you see in the headlines, do you think they just randomly die and get put in the headlines? No, they are put in the headlines by code. There is a thing called a deal with the devil. And it is still being practiced today. If you guys can't see these patterns, I don't even know what to say anymore, because they're not even trying to hide them. They're coming stronger. They're coming quicker. They're coming for our asses, and everybody better get woke the hell up, or we don't stand a fighting chance. So that's your preaching this morning for Sunday morning that you needed to hear. Look out for some more videos. Follow the people in the community that are doing this work. The best one out there is Zachary K. Hubbard, Gematria Effect News 24, Gematria Effect News 25, Gematria Effect News 23. He's been banned so many times, he just has to keep creating new channels. We've got Itachi Decodes out there. Y'all Right the Matrix. Angel Baby is Awake. I'm trying to think of some of the good ones. Chigozi Truth, he's out there. You've got Rambo on the Truth Codes that puts so many connections together that he's just amazing. There is people out there that are trying to teach you this information and show you these patterns and to show you what is really happening in this world. It is up to you to want that knowledge. We can't force this knowledge down your throat. We can't force you to want to know. But you can't sit here and tell us that we're all conspiracy theorists and crazy when every freaking pew pew that we've had in the past 10 days has followed the same damn numeric pattern. It's not a coincidence anymore, guys. It's reality. But before I go on a rant, I'm going to end the live here, or end the video, and I'm just starting my YouTube channel, so I don't have many subscribers yet. I've been working more on my blog since January. So you can follow me on the blog at cracktheircode.org. Or you can go to my YouTube channel that I'm in the process of setting up now, where these videos are going to be posted. I hope y'all have a blessed day, and I really hope you get woke. And not the woke that the media wants you to be. Gematria woke.